Welcome to Questions and Perspective. I'm your host, Brian Hibbler. I just want to make sure you guys know this is going to be real interesting. It's going to be a lot of fun. I made sure I got the right type of flavors for y'all today. All right. So I got a couple guys. This is specifically for the ladies. So I got a few. It's not about the answers here. It's about the perspective. I got some good fellas for y'all. Okay. I didn't just get myself, because I could answer all of them. You know how it is. But anyway, I'm gonna let these fellas introduce themselves. Here they go.
Hey guys, how you doing? My name is Jonathan. I'm from London. I work within financial services, consulting, and my goal is to travel a little bit more, create a bit more adventure, and have fun with friends.
My name is Mark Bouchier. I'm from Kissimmee, Florida. I am an actor, after-school teacher, theater. A goal that I want to have is I want to leave a legacy. I want to have something that can continue on in my generation, so my last name carries weight for the future tense.
My name is Lee England Jr. I am a violinist, music producer, singer, songwriter, all of those things. I'm from the north suburbs of Chicago, a small town called Waukegan. Always got to rep my town. Been in New York for probably like 2 years now, and one of my goals is to empower healing through music, and then also to empower people through financial literacy.
My name is Rustin Stewart. I'm from Kansas City, Missouri. I've lived here in New York for 16 years. Currently, I'm a trainer at Equinox Sports Club on the Upper West Side.
Okay, cool.
One goal for me is just to, pursue my dreams. I moved out here to New York to, pursue an acting career. I got into training, and I'm, a pretty good trainer, and I've been successful at it. But now I need to really my goal is to get back into the acting.
All right. You just heard from the fellas, the different guys we got, different walks of life, different backgrounds, everything. Just a little different flavors for everybody. All right, now I'm just gonna go over the questions just so you know what we're going over. The first question is, why are you single? And if so, give us 3 reasons why, or a few reasons why. Number 2, why do some men pursue you vigorously only to fall off when you start to finally show some sort of interest? Number 3, why is it so hard for men to show their true emotions and express their wants and needs? 4, why do some men go ghost when everything seems to be going well, no explanation, no common courtesy, they just out? Number 5, if your woman cheated on you, would you stay or leave, and why? 6, at what point in life do you need to be before you're ready to get a wife? And can you not get to that point with a wife? 7, which is really good. How are you coping with 2020? All right, let's get to it. The first question, are you single? And if so, give us a few reasons why.
Am I single? I don't know. I would have to get back on that with you. But to answer why most men are single, the reason why most men are single, I think it's finding that person that you can work well with. That partner, that companion. Some say your better half, and it's hard. It's hard to find, someone that you can work with. We live in such a selfish generation where we're all thinking about ourselves, and we don't really, pour into each other. Everyone's always looking about what am I getting out of it, and that's why it's hard for our generation to find love now.
I am single. 3 reasons why I'm single. 1, Rona. 2, mental stability. Let me clarify that. For me to be in a relationship, I have to be happy myself. So in the past, I really wasn't happy due to the situation I was in my life. Now that things are coming to manifest, now I know I can go into a relationship. But for right now, Rona. So that's 1 was Rona, other one was mental stability and happiness. 3 was financial.
All right, so yes, I am single, and the first reason would be because I realized that I have some healing to do. The past relationships that I've been in kind of, shaped me into the person I am now. And when I took a real honest look, I just realized that I had too much baggage, and being in a relationship often distracts and doesn't allow for the actual healing that needs to happen, and they crash and burn because of it. So I wanted to just take some time to myself to really focus, to really, you know, have some actual hard conversations. I mean, I actually have been calling ex-girlfriends or people that I used to kick it with or whatever, to just get completion and just to bring clarity to certain things that I wanted to know, or maybe things that they wanted to know, because I really wanted to let those chapters be closed for real, you know, and not just kind of lingering, because they can linger, you know, and you can find yourself dabbling here, dabbling there. I really wanted to just let all that go because I want a family, and I want to, you know, really be true to the person that I'm with, and I don't want to come with a whole lot of extra stuff, you know. I just want to be free. That's like one reason. That's kind of a bunch of reasons mixed in together.
Yeah, I'm single, man. It's just, I've been single for like 5 years. It's just hard nowadays dating. I mean, you have the competition with the Instagram, you got the competition with all the online dating devices, something that I don't do. I kind of like want to meet my woman organically, out and about, you know, the grocery store, laundromat, whatever. I think, you know, there's just so much distractions living in this city that people don't really take the time to really focus on that individual, and once they find something that they don't like or annoys them, they're moving on to the next person.
Ooh, all right, that first one was a little something. I got to agree with bits and pieces of everybody. Like myself, I'm single deluxe, you know, single, no kids and job. I had a job before. But the point is, yeah, I'm single. If I'm honest, it's selfishness. You know what I'm saying? Just my that point of trying to get to a certain place, and you want to get your ducks in a row before you know. So you know, that's why I'm single. You know, but I'm still open, you know, to whatever the Lord has. Amen. Amen. Number 2. Why do some men pursue you vigorously only to fall off when you start to show the slightest inclination of interest?
I mean, I think we as men are kind of hunters, you know, so I think that once a man, they might see this woman and they're like, wow, if I get this woman, if I'm able to be with this woman, then it's going to be great, it's going to be amazing. And then once they have that woman, right, whether it's sexually or have their mind or their spirit or whatever, I think they get bored and they're looking for the next woman.
I can't answer that. I don't know, but I do to my best ability. I feel like a lot of guys see a girl, they think they're into her, but I think the majority of the time it's lust. And when they realize, hold on, this was just lust, you've got the buns now, and now you're in a situation and you're trying to get out. And which I think is a bit of a coward thing to do. It's better to say, hey, you know what, you don't know what you want, you just want to have fun and you're just having a good time, and if it goes, you know, becomes more, but to promise and oversell something that you're unaware of, I think that's a bit much. And that's wrong. A lot of men are cowards.
I mean, honestly, I think that if you pursue a woman like real heavy and you get her and then kind of fall off the map, it's one, maybe you didn't expect that you could get her, or 2, you really didn't have any intentions for her in the first place. Because if like you really, really, really want something and you go and you get it, if it's just conquest, I mean, that's another thing, but I mean, I know I've been guilty of it, you know, and it's usually because I want what I want, you know, like instant gratification, and then when you find out that it's real, it's like, maybe this isn't exactly what I thought it was going to be.
Talk about it.
Or there's a number of reasons. I mean, I remember I pursued a girl, and when I got to know her for real, I was just like, it's some things that I just can't rock with. And so that was a reason to go the other direction.
I mean, a man chases because he's after something, and if he's chasing really hard, and depending on what he's after, usually he's after for the wrong thing. I think he stops because he's done with the chase. Because some guys, I feel like it's a chase of them. So it's like trying to get after their prey, and after they got them, it's like, all right, I got you. And if they're chasing too long, they just move on to the next one.
So it could be that the worth of the chase sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some guys, yeah, I feel like some guys, they just want it for the chase, the thrill of the chase, the thrill to say, I got this one girl. Not to say like I captured her heart, it's just say I got her, you know, and then something to brag about. That's what I feel like some guys do that.
But if you get her, why just let it go though?
Because he never really wanted her. Because if he really wanted her, he would have never let her go. That's the thing. Some people just want it for, to be honest, just want it for the pussy, and then after they got it, they just let her go and on to the next one. If a man really wants a woman and he chases after her, he courts her. Let me clarify. He courts her and he gets her. He's gonna want a relationship with her because that's someone he's courting. Now, if he's chasing after a woman and he gets her and then he shows no interest, you already know he only wanted one thing and one thing only. He didn't even care about anything else.
Oh man, that second one kind of got me thinking too, man. It's interesting. Like the whole, I've been in a situation with a woman I was really interested in. This happened a few times, and then for me, if I'm honest, I just think I feel like it's the inconsistency in the personality. You know, and I'll say example, like I'm naturally attracted to, I guess, alpha females or women that can be a little bit more assertive. So when I meet you and you like, hey, how you doing? Okay, you're a little too close, like whatever. I see that, and then we spend time with it, you start to show me that you're like nice. It's just like I'm used to the asshole. Like I'm used to you being like this way. Not saying you can't change, but I guess sometimes that flip happens abrupt versus, you know, I'm conditioned to you one way. Like men are creatures of habit. So I think sometimes just seeing that switch, it's just like, I like you being like these New York women, I like you being like, get out of my face. Like, you know, but you gotta get out of my face, need to love. Whole nother conversation, but yeah. Oh, number 3. Why is it so hard for men to show true emotions and verbalize their wants and needs?
I think that it is difficult to show your emotions in a world where like masculinity and being tough is what is pushed. It's what's expected of you. You know what I'm saying? A little boy, you fall down, get up, man. You a man, man. What you crying for? You know? And so if you grow up with that.
You know, I'm a Virgo. I have no problems sharing my feelings and what I want and communicating. So I can just only speak for myself, but I have no problem. If I really like a woman, then I'm gonna let the woman know that, like, this is what it is, this is what I want. Because if you don't communicate, then how are they supposed to know?
I think it's hard for a black man to show the true emotion is because we were taught and raised to never show emotion and feelings. You ever heard them saying, man the fuck up, like, don't be a pussy, don't show emotion. Especially me growing up as a light skin, automatically they thought like, this guy's gonna be an emotional brother. So I had to hold that narrative of not showing so much emotion because I was always stigmatized as light-skinned guys showing emotion. And I feel like guys hold back their emotion because it's showing signs of weakness, which is not true. It's hard for men to verbalize their wants and needs because they don't know how to communicate. If men knew how to communicate, then they'll be able to verbalize their wants and needs. Sometimes it's just hard to put the words together to tell a woman how a man feels.
Well, I think it's because a lot of men struggle to let people into their, vulnerable place, their stinking place, and everyone has one. But I think that most traditional men are trained to provide and to protect all ours. And, you're meant to be strong, you're meant to be the man. And showing weakness sometimes, is a hard thing because you don't know who to trust with your vulnerabilities. And I think that's why.
What's the stinking place? Like, what do you mean by that?
Your issues, your flaws. If I really let go, if I really open up, and because true intimacy is getting to know someone without filters, without without blockages. It's saying, hey, come into me. This is my past, this is my experience. I come into you. This is your past and your experience. And when we hit it off together, that's the actual definition of really true pure love is, intimacy with, pure intimacy. And I'm not talking about the physical, I'm talking about internally, getting to know each other. And that's the bad place, that's the good place, that's everything. And those things are difficult sometimes because if it doesn't work out, some people are like, oh, I'll let you in the most secret places of my life, can I trust you that information without you using it against me?
Yo, that one, I got to agree with all the fellas, but one of the bros said it's seeing, seeing that place that, it's difficult. It's difficult because we, a lot of us have been conditioned to, you gotta be tough, like you gotta be this way. So I agree with everything that everybody said. It is what it is. We gotta work on ourselves, but yeah. Number 4, why do some men go ghost? When everything seems to be going well, no explanation, no common courtesy, he just why would they do that?
I mean, I would say that I ghost one person.
Only
Only one I've ghost, and the only reason why I ghost is because I found something that I didn't like when talking to her. I found that there were certain things where I was like, man, I'm not really feeling her. And I didn't know the right ways to say I really wasn't feeling you. So the best thing I could do in my immature state was not text, not respond, not answer any phone calls, and just disappear off the face of this earth. And I feel like a lot of guys ghost for many reasons. One reason could be he's going through some things. He can be going through some things mentally. He can be going through some things financially, and he doesn't know how to say it to you because it might make him look weak.
I don't know. I never really been one to just disappear, man. That's not really my MO or how I get down.
Pisces gang life.
Yeah. Pisces gang. I don't even believe in it because it's like, nah, man. I try to do my best
To communicate.
Communication is the whole thing because I just remember when I lived in Chicago, it was really like I knew what I was getting into with certain chicks.
Right.
So I would tell them ahead of time, like, look, this is who I am. This is what I'm on. This is what I want. This is what I'm about to be doing.
1000%.
Now, if any of that don't rock with you, then look, we don't have to do nothing.
Right.
And so that not being thirsty, that's a win because you're like, yo, you dope, but I'm not willing to do that if we not on the same page.
Right.
Good question. I'm just trying to think to myself if I ever ghosted anyone. None that I can think of. I maybe delayed a response, but I don't think I ever ghosted anyone. I think some men are non-confrontational. They a little bit of a coward. They'll awaken someone's love and with no intentions of loving them, and that's why they go ghost because they don't know how to now be honest and deal with the fact that hey, this is not what they want. But it's not that difficult to tell someone, hey, you know what, this is not working. It's not what I wanted. It's not what I thought it was. Hope that we can still be friends and we can work something out.
In my younger days, maybe I thought that I wanted a girl. Maybe I thought that I wanted.
This one is a little. Alright. If your woman cheated on you, would you stay or leave? And why?
Just like, I always ended up going back. Like, yeah, I don't know, because by the time we got to that point, I was already in.
So what would you say did you think the thing was? It was just you. It was the love that made you stay. It was.
Yeah, it was
you
like.
thought that was it. That made you stay?
I always thought that was it. I was like, we can work through it. And if she was really remorseful, and that was the thing. It was like I think I was just letting people off the hook because it was comfortable. Like this is what I know, and I don't really want to go out and look for nothing else. I don't.
Yeah, that's a tough question, man. I think it has to deal with, how confident I am in the relationship and how strong the relationship is. We're all human. We make mistakes. I've cheated on girls before in the past. I've been cheated on. I think that it is hard for a man to forgive a woman for cheating just because, we're so territorial and a guy, I'm not giving this as an excuse, but a guy can really go out and have sex with a woman and it just be physical. And I know there's women out there that can do it too. Before y'all say, I know somebody. But for a woman to cheat, I just feel like it has to be more, right? So a woman is not gonna really go out and just be spreading her legs for everybody. A woman, like, you really fuck with this dude. Like, you really like this dude, you know? So you're going to movies, going to dinner, so that's why it hits a guy harder, because, you know, a woman really has to be feeling the dude.
So you wouldn't leave, you would have to leave because you just couldn't live with it?
And I'm not saying I couldn't. I'm not gonna say that I would totally leave, you know, but it just has to be with a situation. Did it happen once? Did it happen twice? Or was this a continuous thing that was going on behind my back and you was lying dead to my face, like when I would ask you questions? So it has to deal with the extent of the cheating.
Your woman, if you had a woman,
Absolutely not.
and she cheated, man, if she cheated on you, would you stay or leave, and why?
Walk out the door. You're not welcome anymore. I can't stay, man. I can't do. I don't know. I can't cheating.
Why? But why not stay? Why not stay and try to work it out? You know.
I know. I just have that vision of her, you know, doing what she did, or you know, I don't think I'll be able to clean that out of my mind. But
I will have to leave because in the back of my mind, I always know that she was unfaithful. And it's going to be hard for me to ever forget that image.
Shit. Listen, I hear what some of the brothers was, you know, oh man, you know, I had to be there, you know, I'm out. Like, I don't want to say, I know I'm not married yet, but for me, it's just, why cheat? Why? You could have said, it wasn't good. You could have said that, you know, I want this type of lifestyle. You could have just said that and told me to go somewhere else, could have poken off, but you gonna cheat and think you gonna keep me? I'm sorry, I can't be watching these Tyler Perry movies sometimes, but they get cheated on and he's still not. Because I think the biggest thing is I'm a very visual person. And the idea of the special things that you would do to me, you're doing them to somebody else. You know what I mean? You know the special stuff. You know what I'm saying? You know the special, that right there. Yeah. It's not happening. Bye. Take a picture of me and hang it on the refrigerator. The last time you see it. All right, let me fix. There's a quote that most men say that I have to be at this point in my life. I have to be at this point in my life. When I get to this point, I'll be able to get a wife. Well, the question from the ladies is, what is that point that you have to be at, and why can't you get there with a wife?
You can get there with a wife, but she has to be a woman that understands your goals and dreams. If she supports you, then you can get there with her being your wife. But a lot of guys want to feel like they got there on their own, so they can feel like they're a man. Like I didn't have no help, one pillow by myself. That's how they want to feel, and to be like, all right, I did this on my own. Now I can incorporate other things in my life. But you don't need to have a wife to get to where you need to go, because it's your own individual goal to get there. But if you have a wife to get there, you guys can build an empire together. It all depends on who the person is.
I don't think that I think that's a mistake that a lot of people make, is they always say, at this level, then I'm ready for that person. Well, you know, God doesn't work like that. And like, life doesn't work like that. Sometimes, you know, a person will come into your life when you think you're not ready, and you will be like, oh, I'm not ready, I'm gonna wait to here, and you get to that certain spot in life where you think, okay, now I'm ready to settle down, and it's crickets. And you're not finding that woman that presented herself when you thought you wasn't ready, because you felt like you still had some playboy traits to let off.
I don't feel like you can't reach that place with your wife, and I think what place you need to be is just you need to know yourself, really, know your purpose and your plan and what you're trying to do and achieve in life before you get married, because women are nourishers, women make things better, and a lot of the time men get into a relationship without purpose, without plan, without knowing what they want out of their own personal life. So how are you meant to provide and protect and be there for that woman and be the nurturer of that woman? As well as obviously women as well. Women are very good nurturers. They make things better, you know, but they need a plan. So most men having that plan, and then the woman comes along, and the woman's now getting frustrated because they're thinking, okay, well, what do we have to work with? What's the plan? What are we doing? And that's where things really go wrong. So it's not about material, where are you financially, what do you have, what don't you have? It's, do you have a plan? Do you have a plan for your life, a direction for your life that you actually are trying to achieve and obtain, and you're working at it every day? Once you have that, I think you're good to find a woman.
I know now the point that you have to be at before you get a wife is whole.
Okay.
You know, I mean, but that's not really what I think that most women think about when they say that. I think that is, you know, as a guy, it's like you want to be financially set. You want to have like dog days out of the way. You know, you really want to be in a space where you can provide. I think that's the biggest thing. It's like being able to provide.
Ah, man, that place is, I feel like that place has held a lot of niggas back from really walking into their potential with the right woman, because you have somebody you just go, nah, I gotta get, and you know, in some cases, maybe the brother just wants somebody else and he's scared to just be honest and say whatever, and that could have just been a lie. But I think in other cases, in a lot of cases, when you're not sure or settled, established, and not even just who you are, but you know, sometimes I feel like as men, you know, gotta be provided, gotta have the money, gotta have it. So just trying to have the money, it's a certain amount or a certain status before I can feel comfortable so I can take care of this woman. You know, I think it's a conversation some brothers have to let go. If you're really looking for a partnership, or you just looking for somebody to run, you know what I mean? Like that has to be a conversation to be had. So I think you can get there to whatever that goal is with the wife or the partner, and you know, build it together. All right, this is a really good question. Number 7, how are you dealing with 2020?
Yo, 2020, man. You know, it's interesting because I'm from Kansas City, Missouri. So my Chiefs won the Super Bowl. So 2020 was like, bam. But then, right before the Super Bowl, Kobe passed. And you know, I mean, I think Kobe was everything that glued everything together, because once he passed, shit got kind of crazy. So it's just, I've always been the kind of person that, you know, my faith is strong and I have positive energy. I always try to control that, because that's the only thing that we really can control, right? How you react to certain things. And it's been tough, and it's been something that I never thought that I would go through in my life. But you know, I'm also making very good money during this time. So you know, with every like crisis or negative thing that goes on in somebody's life, there's also kind of a positive that you can take from it, and that's what I've been doing.
Well, for me, I'm just taking it as it comes. That's one thing I've learned to do, just take it as it comes. So don't put no pressure on myself, no heaviness on myself. My body can't carry that weight or that stress. People losing jobs, you know, the whole Black Lives Matter movement, which is amazing. Things are happening. There's a lot of people in power who shouldn't have power, and if you really meditate on that a lot, you can end up getting sick and ruining your immune system. But I do believe the best is yet to come, and we're going to finish solid, and the right decisions will be made for the better for everyone.
I'm dealing with 2020 one day at a fucking time. One day at a time, counting my blessings, appreciating all the small things in life. What I'm doing is writing, watching things that are inspirational, things that make me laugh, talking, creating, that's the biggest thing, creating, listening to music, being around nature, and listening to myself. Actually doing self-therapy, listening to myself, and writing the stuff down.
The one thing that I think is my saving grace is I'm allowing myself to feel the feelings that I feel. So if I'm upset, fuck it, be upset. You know, if I want to go out and protest, go out and protest. Not that I have, but if I felt like it, I'm gonna do what I feel at this point, and I'm not gonna look for validation anywhere.
Man, 2020. It was off to a rough start. My aunt transitioned to the next, like the same day Kobe died. You know, that with Kobe, I think you know, certain celebrities and people you feel are immortal. and this whole thing, quarantine, job. You know, at first, I won't lie, I locked myself in a room for some days. I just watched Marvel movies. But then I think you start to reach out to people, and you know, I think I needed my you know, I need to be around some brothers, and some good friends and a lot of good conversation, but really around some other creators. And I feel like that, you know, us back to talking about stuff we want to do and produce and make, and kind of having a goal for when this is over, we about to do this. When this is, and I think more so, all right, until that happens, what can we do now? This project, this is how I'm coping with 2020. A place to create and create some dialogue. So, all right. So look, I got some other, it's a little surprise. I guess you could say it's a bonus round. Because the fellas, I've been asking all these questions and stuff. I'm gonna give them an opportunity if they want to ask a question. So they can either ask me something personal, or ask something for the opposite sex. So, fellas, go ahead, do your thing.
My question is to women, would you rather choose financial security, or would you be okay with choosing someone who is trying to work it out, is unaware of what they're trying to do and achieve, but they could potentially have potential one day?
My question is for the ladies. If you didn't have social media, would your life still be okay? Like if it was irrelevant, there was no social media no more, would your life still be okay? That's the only thing I have to ask. Because a lot of people do it for the likes, trying to show off. Now, if you didn't have a platform to post your pictures or tell people what you're doing, would you still be okay mentally?
Is how do you deal with having a lot of options?
Say it one more time. I'll just make sure I got it.
Like, how do you deal with having so many options?
All right, so ladies, I'm gonna lean in for y'all.
Oh man, lean in, brother, lean in.
When you say you want a good man, and that man presents themselves, why y'all always fade out or do some BS?
Ah, man. Yo, this was fire. And I'm not just saying it because I was in it was really fire. I'm just grateful, man, for everybody that clicked, just to watch it. And just my fellas coming out. My God, these are some solid dudes. I mean, reach out and touch them if you want to. You know what I'm saying? That's what you do. But thank you guys so much just for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Do me a favor. Just one, I know you heard it before, but listen. Just click subscribe. Just click subscribe. Click like. Do both of that. It's only two things. This is quarantine. What else are you doing? So click subscribe. Also, so if you got any more questions, make sure you hit me up right here. This is me right up under here. Hit me up. Any more questions? I got something different for you guys in the next episode. I'll let you guys know. But you know the way you're going to find out is if you do what? Click subscribe. Follow. Okay? All right. Look, I appreciate you guys once again. I am your host, Brian Hibbler. Thank you for tuning in to the first episode of Questions and Perspective. Talk to you soon.
Girl, I know just who you are. Hold up. Ain't got a rush in the shit. Being in love is too hard. I'm tired of all these flashing lights.